Mr. Crockett. I'm going to be doing Abraham for my Bible exam. God's covenant with Abraham was that he would have a great nation built on his name. We can see this through Genesis 12:1-3, which says, I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all of the peoples on earth will be blessed through you. Abraham's role was that he is the father of God's people. He is creating the great nation. He completed his assignment by having a child with Sarah, who would continue on their family name and God's nation. This child is Isaac. The thing is, they doubted God, and Abraham had another child with their servant Hagar, who would not get the same covenant that Isaac did. We can see this through Genesis 17:16, which says, I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. Abraham's accomplishments were the foundations of God's nation. Jesus came from his nation. Jesus was the blessing that came out of Abraham's name. Abraham was different than the other men of God because he was called upon by God and not born into the faith. We can see this in Genesis 12:4-5. So Abraham went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he departed from Haran, and Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired from Haran, and they set out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, and so on. This shows how abrupt the journey was for Abraham, how he dropped everything and left. One thing that would have made Abraham more effective would have been his trust in God. If he would have trusted God for the entire thing, he wouldn't have gotten into the whole Hagar-Ishmael situation. Yes, Abraham still had a lot of faith in God because he dropped everything, but he still doubted him, which everyone has their doubts. Out of all of the men of God, I think that Joseph understood God's purpose the best because of his dream. Genesis 37:5 says, Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. They hated him because he was talking to God, and God was telling him that he would rule above them one day. Joseph took this direct form of communication with God and used it to help him understand God's purpose for him. I believe that Noah made the most impact because he restarted the human population and trusted God throughout the entire flood, the Great Flood. We can see this in Genesis 9:12-17. It's kind of long, but I'm still going to read it. And God said, This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. When the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on earth. So God said to Noah, This is a sign of the covenant I have established between me and all life on earth. God used Noah to restart the earth and give it a new beginning. This, in my opinion, is what is the most impactful out of everybody in all of the men of God. Also, in my opinion, I think that Joseph resembles Christ the most because he would help the unaccepted, the prisoners, and even though he was in the dark depths, he rose up over it all. Kind of like how Jesus rises over sin and over the darkness. Thank you for listening. Have a good summer, Mr. Crockett.